Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. I'm Chris. Today is going to be a little bit different than my usual vlogs. Today I am going to Pokecourt, which is a really cool Pokemon TCG shop in the city. I've been wanting to go for a little bit, but the reason I'm going is I want to show them some love and support. Recently they had a crazy armed robbery that went crazy online, but they've had a lot of support from the community, and there's things I kind of wanted to see if they had a card in particular. Like since season 2 of Peacemaker, I've been wanting an Infernate card. I don't know how much they cost. I don't know if they're rare or you can really find them randomly, but I'm gonna go there, see if they have that, and just check out the shop in general. I think what's cool about New York City is that you have these kind of shops that exist. So I definitely want to show them some love, some support, check them out in the city. So come with me as I go to Pokecourt. And if you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's go to Pokecourt. So here is Pokecourt. It is off the 14th Street stop, so like 8th Avenue is like the last stop on the L train. What's really dope about this area in particular is kind of like high end. It's more like the meatpacking district, so you have a lot of like a Gucci, a Rolex. Crazy enough, that Gucci was also robbed a couple years ago, so it might be the area. But Pokecourt, I love it. Like, I am not someone that's been in the Pokemon community for quite a while. I haven't even bought a Pokemon game since I think X and Y. But growing up, the anime, the cards, I was all for it. And I think what Pokecourt does that I really appreciate as a specialty shop is that they don't make you feel like you don't know anything. Like, I asked the staff questions and they didn't get like really snobby. Like, I grew up going to places like Supreme and Streetwear in New York City, and people could get really rude in these kind of specialty or luxury shops. So it felt good to be in a shop like Pokecourt, and everyone seemed excited to be there, and it just like people were opening packs at the Pokebar. I even joined in and got myself a couple packs. So I think, you know, I don't have much experience when it comes to Pokemon card shops, but for me, I think it's someplace I'll definitely go back. I'll definitely spend more money there just because, like I said, just good vibes, good people. And I think these kind of shops could sometimes get a bad rap because you're like, oh, they're in it for the money, they're just resellers and all that kind of stuff. But it just seems like what they've created is actually something for the community, and that shows in just the kind of support they've gotten since what happened at the shop happened. But it was really cool to see some of these cards that I've seen online go for a lot, some graded cards. And I think, you know, honestly, just being here, I think I'm going to start getting into cards in some way. I don't know if it's going to be Pokemon, go back to Yu-Gi-Oh, or Digimon, who knows? But it was cool. Like I said, look at that pack bar. It's awesome. It's a good vibe, and they've created something special.
Honestly, I'm not mad about that. It's my first time here anyways. Yeah, no, I'm glad you should come by. Enjoy the budget.
How'd I do?
That's pretty good. Hey, you got a full art illustration. So at each box there's at least 3, guaranteed. Okay. You got it out of 1 pack. So it's a pretty good site.
Appreciate you.
Bro,
Thank you. I'm back, and I got some things. So Pokecourt was awesome. Honestly, the vibe in there was dope. I am not a Pokemon collector by any means. I grew up on the games, the anime. I collected cards when I was much younger before it became this huge thing. And it's insane that the TCG has grown to the point where it can support a store like Pokecourt. But honestly, it was cool because I think especially after what happened at the store, to kind of see the employees in really good spirits. Also, the people that were in the store, you could see they've created a community around Pokemon. And I think there is something to be said about, like, there's so many people in it and you're like, oh, they're just resellers or flippers and all that kind of stuff. And I think there is something to be said about all of these hobbies turned into, they're so commodified that a lot of people can't get into them on the ground floor or anything like that. But I will say, just based on my experience at Pokecourt, it was great. I liked the vibe. I liked the employees. I felt good despite being something new. And even when I asked questions, I didn't feel like honestly, there's some places you go into, whether it be a comic shop, a card shop, any of these hobby shops, where you're like, hey, like, I don't know if you know this, but if you're going to create a store, you kind of have to be, at least halfway decent at customer service, or at least pretend like you like, selling these things. So in terms of that, Pokecourt, A plus, vibe, design, the store, like the Poke Bar, the way they kind of had the buy sell trade set up. Also, they had like little trinkets and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm a sucker for all that. I am the king of vibes. If a place, a store has a really good vibe, I'll just go there to be like, and that's why I had to buy something. I had to support. So I got a Cyndaquil, which was awesome. This was cool. Like, as you can see, I love Labubus, and I felt like I had to get a Pokemon Labubu. And Cyndaquil, when Gen 2 dropped those games, was probably my favorite starter Pokemon of that batch. And then I also got a pack of, I think, Mega Dreams it was called, which is a Japanese pack. And I got some cool stuff. It illustrated. Don't know what that Pokemon is. But also got a Pikachu. And yeah. So some pretty good pulls. What's cool is that when you buy a pack at the Pokebar and you open it there, they do give you a top loader, which is cool. Like, they don't have to do that. And it's a really cool, like, environment to do it. Like, I saw a couple of people open their packs. If you get hits, it's a cool vibe. Like, I think I might get into Pokemon. No, I'm not. There's just way too many Pokemon. There's too many different things. I've already have enough bad habits. But like I said, it was cool to kind of be in there, and it made me feel good about being in a space that I was uncomfortable with. I'm learning. I want to get like some cards that grew up on. I went in there wanting an Infernape. They did not have one based on what I was looking through. Like, there aren't that many Infernape cards based on what they were telling me. So there's like one that's like worth over $900. Probably not going to get that one to start. But I'll probably look on eBay and see what's available. But I think if you are in New York City, Pokecourt is the Pokemon shop you want to go to if you're looking for TCG. Support them right now. You could check them out on Whatnot. So if you can, obviously they went through something really traumatic. So support them. I went and I was like, oh, let me just see. And I think they definitely deserve the support. It's cool what they've created. I kind of hope and wish that there's something like that comes along for like comic books. I mean, there's a couple like comic book shops in the city and stuff like that, but I think there is like an opportunity to create something like that where you have a welcoming environment, an environment that creates community in that way, and sort of like modern. I think it's like, it felt like a third space, like almost like you could get a beer or a coffee at that Poke Bar. So it was cool to check out Pokecourt. But let me know what you think. Did you guys like it? Have you gone or checked them out on Whatnot? Let me know. And if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.